This is my Far North lightsaber case. It could comfortably fit about 2 lightsabers, maybe 3 thin ones. And this is my custom Far North lightsaber case.
Pray on Johnny. May the force be with you.
This one fit too. Can you guess how many lightsabers are in this right now? Leave them in the comment below what you think is in this one. So if you remember back when I was doing the review for this case, I mentioned that when I first saw this case in another review by Star Wars IRL, one of my favorite channels, he mentioned that you could do a custom order of up to a 6-inch diameter, which this is. And when I spoke to the company, they said they can even do it longer. This is a 4-inch diameter. This is a 6-inch diameter. The original one is 39 inches in length and can support up to a 36-inch blade or a total length of a lightsaber hilt with a blade. The new one is 47 inches and it's said to be able to support up to a 40-inch blade or lightsaber hilt and blade combination. The original one came with 2 pockets where you can actually separate and put your hilt inside, and it supports up to a 14-inch hilt. And it came with a carry strap. For this custom order, I did not change the hilt pocket. It's the same 14-inch hilt and there's only 2 of them because I use them for accessories. The question is this the biggest lightsaber case in the world? But let's open this up to see how many lightsabers I actually have in here. So here's how it looks with the lightsabers, and this might be deceiving because it looks like there's only about 3 or 4, but I have them staggered so that the weight is even, because if you have all the hilts on one side, it tends to tilt. I placed them in here where they're opposing, but let's pull these out. 1 lightsaber. 2 lightsaber. Now keep in mind, the first one I pulled out was a thin lightsaber. This one's a thicker hilt. And I actually have an assortment in here of different sizes. Here's Jade Savi's workshop one. That's the 3rd one out. Here's my Luke Skywalker one. So 5th lightsaber out, and this is probably the longest saber we have in here. Jade's engagement saber. That's 5 total, and since this is the longest one in here, let's just measure this just to see, because this one stuck out just by a little bit. This is actually 47 inches. The recommended is to do 40 inches, and it does stick out a little bit. I actually don't recommend putting this in there, but I kind of stuffed it in there, and there's enough cushion where it would fit, but you would be compressing the cushion so much that this could probably hit the solid concrete. You don't want that, but I'm just showing that it is possible. But wait, there's more. I have another thin one, Dark Wolf Lupin Rose, an LGT saber. And this is the last one, which is my Savi's Workshop lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge. So like I said, inside here, there are 2 14-inch pockets for additional lightsaber hilts if you wish to separate your blade from your hilt, but I don't use them for that. I use them to carry accessories because I like keeping my blades intact. Plus it reduces the wear on the screws from stripping. But aside from being able to carry a bunch of lightsabers, one of the reasons why I got this was to accommodate for those longer blade and hilt combinations, as well as being future-proof for having exotic lightsabers that might be a little wider than a regular hilt. For example, what about something like Kylo Ren saber? Now this is the toy Disney saber and it's not an exact replica. However, it is a good approximation of the hilt, and when you remove the blades, this is known to be a little wider at the emitters, the side emitters, where the cross guard is, to be a little wider than the original. So this is a good way to test if this will fit. Now, if you're bringing home a replica Kylo Ren saber, it's pretty cool because you could put the 2 crossguard blades into the pockets and you can fit this whole hilt because this is a 6-inch diameter. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to get it this long, But for me, it's just future-proofing it for being able to carry longer sabers along with wider saber hilts. So they can do a 5-inch diameter, a 6-inch diameter. They can do as many pockets as you need. They can do them as long or short as you need. And you can do the whole case to be as long or as short as you need it to be. Now, I was a little skeptical about how sturdy this is. I know that Star Wars IRL actually took the regular case and ran it over with his car. But when I put this on the ground and I actually step on it, it stays in shape. And I'm only 170 pounds, so it's not the same as putting a 500-pound object on it, but it makes me feel great about how sturdy it is. Now, if you are carrying lightsabers with this and you're only carrying a few lightsabers in it, I suggest adding some foam, towels, or cushion to make sure it's not flopping around. You don't want your lightsabers loosely moving around in the case because it negates the whole point of protecting it by putting it in a case. And you saw me pull out all those lightsabers and they were basically in there without any sleeve or protection. But what's cool about it, you can put your lightsaber in a smaller case that's a soft case just to keep it from getting scratched and then still stick it into this bigger case. In fact, I think this even applies to the smaller case. Just have a sleeve. These are like, I mean, these are a little bit more expensive now because of the YDD ones, but there are cheap, unpadded lightsaber sleeves that you can wear. And what's awesome is if you're taking this on a trip, this could be what you take to, say, Galaxy's Edge or the Comic-Con just to carry your lightsaber, but this will be the one that you take to store all of them on the airplane. So just take your saber, put it inside the sleeve, and I'll leave you some links to this one as well as the one that I saw for $12. I actually got 2 of them. And just comfortably stick it inside the case. And if you have multiple of them, you're not going to scratch because you have a layer of protection between your sabers. And once again, I remind you, if you are going to stack multiple sabers, like say like 7, make sure that they're staggered. You have some with the hilt on this side with some on the hilt on this side. Otherwise, it's going to be uneven. Now, here's another cool thing. And I know this is a scenario that might not be as likely, but if you really, really want to protect 2 of your sabers or 3 of your sabers, you can have both this case and the original regular size case. Say we put 2 sabers in this case and you want extra protection, you can actually stick this case inside the bigger case. Now, I know this is a bit overkill, might be really expensive to do, but why would you want to do that? Well, aside from an extra layer of protection, maybe you want to go to a con or an event where you want to take your heavy-duty case and this one is just way too big. Well, you can stick your smaller case into the bigger one. And for the smaller case, if you wanted to do a custom length, I think you just want to keep it a little smaller, like keep it about 40 inches so that it fits perfectly into the bigger case. Now, I also was a little worried if the carry strap would break on you being so heavy. But what I love about it is that, you know, the way it's designed, it goes around. And if it were to start to rip, you would see it right away. But honestly, this is a beast. Now, I don't know if it'll fit, say, an Inquisitor lightsaber. That would be a good one to try because, you know, that thing is round. And as far as I know, the 6-inch diameter is as far as they'll go. But this will be helpful if you have large hilts, you have multiple hilts, and you have different blade lengths that you want to travel with. So this is definitely going to be very useful for my fiance and I's wedding because we're going to be carrying a bunch of lightsabers to that event. So I'm not affiliated with Far North Archery, but if you want to get one of their cases, let's start with the regular size. You can order them from their website. They're actually an archery gear company. Normally you keep archery gear in their cases and they made one for lightsabers. But if you want to do a custom order with a custom size, just email them. They'll work with you on the pricing and everything. And you can get one of these bigger lightsaber cases for all your lightsaber travel needs. All right, I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and the Force is with you always.